All right, everybody, a little bit past 7:15 here on your Monday. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday. Feels like a Monday, kind of looks like a Tuesday. It has been a case of the terrible Tuesdays. I'm Fox 19 Now First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart. What a mess of a day, right? Not a fun day at all. We have been seeing a lot of this. A lot of gloom, a lot of low-hanging gloom outside, a lot of rain, a lot of slow traffic out there, too. If you're going to be out hitting the roads, watch out. We just got pummeled by another half-inch to three-quarters of an inch of rain with that latest round that just pushed on through. That pushed a lot of areas over the 2-inch mark for the day. Officially at the airport, it was a little bit less, right? A little bit less than 2 inches. Let's go ahead and give it the roller door transition there to show you that 2.12 was the official record at the International Airport today. So far, and what will likely stand as the final total for the day, unofficially, they're 1.85 inches. We got close. That's a ton of rainfall. That is easily going to take out our deficit. Before today's rain, we had on the notes here just a little over 1.25 inches deficit. We're going to be running a surplus now for the month of November as we start to work our way towards the 2/3 mark, just a couple days away. 2.12 of the record. That will stand. That was set back in 1957. Here's how we got to almost 2.12 inches of rain. It was started off pretty messy. A lot of rainfall early this morning. That slowed things down. We had a lot of accidents I saw rolling in this morning, making things a mess. We had more rain around midday, limiting visibility, again, making things a mess. And then this evening, we caught a little bit of a break, and you all thought it was going to be great until round number 3 pushed back. And I mean, it was on and off through much of the day, but this one, you could barely see downtown. And if you look and squint here, the top right corner of the screen before it changes the image there, you can see a wasp hanging onto the camera for dear life out there. Yeah, it was just not a fun evening out there as a line of severe storms dove through downtown. And, of course, it rolled through right around dinner time, which at this point of the year is now in complete darkness. So that's where we are. And then fast forward a little bit, and you can see the skyscrapers still scraping the sky out there this evening. Here's a live look at downtown, and it's pretty cool, actually, if you look at this image right now on the camera, because the air is so saturated that just this little bit of disturbance here from the top of the Great American Building is just enough to get this cloud here to develop and roll off the top, right? Pretty cool stuff. Air is very saturated. I say that because the temperature is 43, the dew point is 42. This all from the International Airport. If I looked at Lunkin, it would probably be pretty similar, but 43 with a dew point of 42, that air is just about saturated, so it just takes a little bit of that disturbance to get the clouds going. And with temperature and dew point very similar tonight, look at the visibility number. That's not due to just rain. We are going to have some fog we're going to have to contend with as we work our way towards tomorrow morning. Bear with me here. I'm going to do my best to hop around on this radar, and so if you can't see it, let me know, just in case the picture-in-picture might be too small. But if it is, we'll pull it back up, because nobody has to look at my ugly mug while I'm trying to do this. But here's where the rain is right now and where it's headed. That is the last of the widespread stormy weather just now starting to slide through our southeasternmost communities. Owen, southern Owen, Grant, Pendleton County here. Let me pull my cursor back out. Pendleton County, Bracken County, all seeing sub-severe storms rolling through, enough to be a nuisance for those plans. Portions of Mason, Robertson counties also seeing some heavy rain rolling on in. That's the last of it, though. We'll slide a little bit further up to the northeast, West Union, as well as Manchester. That's probably the worst of the weather right now between you two. Right across the river there in northern Kentucky. One is at Lewis County, yep. And then northeast of that, you go up, let's say 41 up to Peebles. A lot of heavy rain just now going through Fawcett, Cedar Mills, Walmsley, and then over here out of the area. Highland County, Clinton County, still seeing some light to moderate rain, but not really a lot of lightning up there. Just enough to be, like I said, a little bit of a nuisance out there this evening. In terms of storm reports, we did not have a ton. At last check, there was only one, and that was a hail report out of Norwood, almost up to 1 inch. We'll see if that report list has grown. It has not. That is the only report we got today. And let's see, we'll pull this up for you. That was 0.8, 0.8 of an inch hail in the Norwood area. That was when those storms were rolling through at 6:12. Likely the worst of the damaging wind, too, at about that time. We had a severe thunderstorm warning, which at one point went all the way over to basically Batavia, right into Claremont County, Amelia, Goshen area. And then they did not issue any more warnings from there. So no reports of any significant wind damage. I was looking earlier at some of the power outages. I did not see, let's see, I think I have a power outage map here somewhere. Hold please, because everything for me is sideways because I don't put this together well. Let's see, I don't have one. Oh, I thought I had one. Oh, that's all right. Nope, 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 that's not it. That's a time lapse. Nope, 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 nope. All right, well, won't work on that for next time. Power outages, I haven't seen any significant amounts. I do have notifications for that, and I haven't gotten any. So for the most part, outside of some minimal issues, we dodged the worst of it, which is always good. Let's see what else. Good evening to you, Travis. I'm doing great. Hopefully you're doing fine. We'll hop back to the radar. Again, no current warnings out there across the area. We had the severe thunderstorm warnings earlier, a few of them. I think it was 3 in total. No more for our area. There is a warning right now down towards southwestern Kentucky. This is southwest of Paducah, and that one is a little bit more of an enhanced warning, you might say, because the reason it has those red hashes moving across, there's a tornado possible in that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, not in our area, nothing to worry about with us, but if you are down in southwestern corner of Kentucky there, that is for Fulton, Hickman, and Mississippi counties in southwestern Kentucky and southeastern Missouri. That's where that particular storm is right now. Again, nothing for our area. There's also a severe thunderstorm watch down that way, which you can see in the pink shaded area. But we have dried back out. The only thing we have left is this big blanket special weather statement, which is essentially like the precursor to a severe thunderstorm warning. It's enough that you'll probably see some issues with some gusty winds, and in this case 40 miles an hour in our southeasternmost communities, but no severe storms, which would take about 20 mile an hour stronger winds and much larger hail. So if you're down here in our southeasternmost communities, just be aware. We still have those storms rolling on through, but they are almost out of the area within the next hour. We should be drying out entirely between about 8 to 9 o'clock. And then we deal with our next problem, which is going to be the pesky fog that we're going to be dealing with, and that will be settling in pretty shortly. Like I said, we're already down to a mile of visibility at the airport. Let me see where we're at, other numbers. I'm going to be bouncing all around tonight, so we'll just bear with me. Let's see if I can find the visibility. I'm sure it's here somewhere. There we go. Current visibility, down to 1/8 of a mile down in Grant County, Pendleton County, Boone County. The airport official number is down to 1 mile of visibility there. If it wasn't completely dark at 7:20, I'd be able to show you some of that on the Turfway cam, but you're not going to see much. Just be aware that could slow you down as you head out the door tomorrow morning. Other than that, the rain, it should, like I said, start to wrap up here over the next hour or so. We'll be drying out through the overnight. We'll stay mostly dry for the rest of your Wednesday and Thursday, but both mornings, Wednesday and Thursday morning, both. We're going to be dealing with some fog outside. Here's the future visibility, working our way through the rest of the evening. Tomorrow, again, less than 1/4 of a mile at times. It's not rain, but you'll want to pack your patience again. You'll know this is going to slow things down as you head out the door. It'll be out of here by 8 to 9 o'clock. We'll see another round of fog settling in for Thursday morning, especially northeast of town. Now, everybody has a chance for that, and then that's out of here, and then we're on our way to the next problem, which is going to be storms on Friday. Of course, if you heard the news earlier, we have Elder and St. X playing now at Paycor Stadium. They instantly sold out, or nearly instantly sold out of 7,000 tickets, and now they're selling apparently another 20,000 more, putting up another 20,000 for sale. So that'll be quite a big crowd over at Paycor Stadium. If you're unfamiliar, that's where the Bengals play. And that could be interrupted by some scattered storms rolling through. We'll have to deal with that on Friday. That's the next chance for rain. Good news, bad news. That's the bad news. Good news is this coming weekend looks nice and dry. We have 3 more big events happening. We have at Nippert Stadium, the Bearcats. We have FC Cincinnati and the Bengals both playing on Sunday. So you'll see it here on our weather timeline. That's Friday. Not exactly ideal. We'll go forward just a little bit on this, and you'll see by 7 to 8, the worst of the rainfall is going to be down here just off to our south in central Kentucky, but it's a long ways out between now and Friday. That could certainly push northward a bit. If it does, it would put some of our southernmost communities more in a flooding risk. But for now, it looks to be Lexington, Moorhead over towards the Westmoreland area, and then we'll be drying out into Saturday morning. UC looks great for that. That's a late kickoff anyway. We'll have some showers early Saturday morning, but those will clear out by the time kickoff happens at 8 o'clock. Bengals play at noon. Can't rule out a stray sprinkle. This is new from yesterday. This is the European model we're looking at. It's bringing in a few showers, some sprinkles for Sunday, but again, nothing that's going to cause any real issues. FC Cincinnati, the kickoff a little closer to sunset, just some clouds, really not bad. Can't rule out a stray sprinkle for the most part, going to be in good shape. And then we work our way into next week. So this is not this Wednesday, this is not tomorrow. This is all the way the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving. And, well, the day before Thanksgiving, obviously a huge travel day across not just the tri-state, but across the country. And if you do have plans to travel, for the most part, it looks pretty good. All right. With that said, if you're heading to the tip here of the mitten, or you're heading up towards Wisconsin, that's where you could run into some wintry weather. You know, I can't imagine there's going to be a huge migration to Rhinelander or Cadillac, but if you're heading that way, Eau Claire, Marquette, you know, the UP, you could have some wintry issues. The rest of the country, yeah, maybe some slowdowns with some storms down near Atlanta if you have to connect through Atlanta's airport, which a lot of you probably do. If you're heading off to the west, to let's say, you know, Wyoming, Salt Lake City, yeah, they're going to be dealing with some snow the day before, but for the most part, around our area, if it's just a drive, you know, you're in pretty good shape. It's going to be a little slower than normal just because we'll have the rain, but it's certainly better than wintry weather. Then we'll fast forward to Thanksgiving Day itself. And outside of just some lingering showers southeast, that's another little change from yesterday because it did look like we'd dry out completely. A few showers are going to try to linger, especially southeast of town for Thanksgiving, but it's not a huge outdoor holiday. You're going to be sitting inside watching football, eating some delicious eats. So, you know, not a huge deal with that, since most of you will probably be where you're going to be going. In that time span, we have two more systems. Again, Friday, Wednesday next week. Some areas could see over an inch of additional rainfall, where we do see those heftier amounts, especially south of town, right, those blue shaded areas. And the one thing we don't want to do is see those light blue shaded areas start to slide a little bit farther north. That would indicate over 2 more inches of rain. We could be talking about some minor localized flooding issues, just how soggy it's been today and what we'll see outside Wednesday or Friday and then eventually Wednesday. So we'll keep an eye on that, see how that adjusts, but at least for now it's been pretty consistently off to our south. Here's a little change for you. Here's something that's going to be working its way on through. Let me grab a drink of water. My sinuses have finally officially tried to kill me today, which is great timing. There is going to be a change, and I brought this up yesterday, and we were talking about what's, you know, Nerdville talked, it's called Sudden Stratospheric, you know, Warming Event, an SSW, whatever you want to call it. It's way up high in the atmosphere, right, hundreds of thousands of feet. It warms up. That sudden warming kind of disrupts the polar vortex, which normally, you know, due to its name, it sits at the poles. It doesn't, you know, that cold air sits up there. That's just where it is. When this disruption happens aloft, down at the surface, it can push off and, you know, tear off a piece of, you know, lobe of colder air and send it careening southward into the mid-latitudes where we enjoy our nice, mild Thanksgivings. And with that, you know, trying to just go way around the point to explain that next week, after Thanksgiving, and as we round out November, that much colder air is going to try to dive in. I'm keeping my eyes, a very early eye, because it's way too far out for any specifics, but next, not this Saturday and Sunday, but next Saturday and Sunday, what is that, the 29th and 30th, the last 2 days in November, right, last weekend in November, there is a slim chance we could see some wintry weather. You know, a lot of things would have to come together to make that happen, but that's more than 10 days out. But what I will say, and your first alert is, it's going to be much colder as we round out November and head into December. It does look to be pretty chilly. So before we get there, let me show you this, because this is what I showed you yesterday, which ran through December the 1st. It's our 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. And yesterday I told you to keep an eye, because we're going to show you this the next couple of days, Keep an eye up here to the northwest. We had some below normal temperature air sliding in late November, early December from the northwest. That's going to be that big cool down diving out, right? An outbreak of polar air is going to be sliding this way. And as you can see today, now it goes to December 2nd. It's getting close. It's getting closer. We're still in the above normal temperature range, but it does look like we're going to see a big drop in temperatures as we work our way into early December. It's still going to be, relatively comfortable for most of the rest of this month. But here's where the combination of below normal temperatures and then above normal precipitation come into play. That's kind of how your whole, La Nina is a little different. We'll talk about that too. But we are expecting some abnormally high amounts of precipitation between now and December 2nd too. And if you get that cold to combine with this above normal precipitation, obviously you could see some snow. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. The European model would like to think that it's possible we see some snow to close out November. We'll see. It's a long ways out, just throwing it out there. That is the 14-day precipitation outlook. And here is your 10-day forecast. I don't have any questions on here coming in. Ricky saying he had pea-size hail come through Williamsburg about 40 minutes ago. Thank you. Happy holidays to you as well. We had numerous reports of hail coming in, just pea-size, though, nothing too crazy. With that line of severe storms, luckily no big power outages, and here's what we're dealing with over the next 10 days, which is fog tomorrow and Thursday both. Both days will have some fog in the morning. Not everybody, but those that do see it, it could be dense at times. Friday, another chance for storms. That rolls in. Mostly rain, but we could have a few rumbles of thunder. It's not going to be nearly as bad as today, but will still impact high school football for those of you who are still in it. Saturday and Sunday, we dry back out. Great news for UC, the Bengals, and FC Cincinnati. Both of those, well, all three of those, look to go off without a hitch. No big issues. Monday and Tuesday, we stay dry, too, so a nice long stretch there to dry out ahead of that Wednesday system. Obviously, that's important because it's a big driving day, flying day for many people, big travel holiday. If you're heading out Wednesday, expect some wet roads. If you have to go anywhere, within driving distance. If you're flying, unless you're heading well off to the west towards the Rockies or up towards the UP or something, you're not going to have many issues there. So different Ricky there. Ricky, it was at a different chat. It's on my Facebook page there. But good to see you, Ricky Fontaine. Jeff is saying no snow. Now, Jeff, were you just listening 5 seconds ago? I just said we were talking about maybe some snow on day 11 and 12 of the non-existent 12-day forecast. I was just trying to make you happy, Jeff, and you weren't even listening. Thursday itself, your Thanksgiving, it looks pretty good. Just a little cloudy, a little chilly maybe, but it's a few degrees. It's coming in a few degrees colder than yesterday. We'll see if that swings back up tomorrow. We'll continue to follow the trend on that, but either way, not bad. Just cloudy, gloomy, but you're inside and it doesn't really matter. 47 for that, and the Twerky is here. That time of the year. All right. Ricky, what did you have? So let's That is a news question. Ricky, I only talk about weather. Go ask somebody else. I didn't even see your question. All right, what else we got? All right, rest of you, have a great evening. We're going to call it quits. Most of this rain is going to be out of here. You're asking the wrong person, Ricky. I don't know. Sam, you have a good Thanksgiving. There's what's left of the rain, again, down to the southeast. It's got a lot more bark than bite at this point, right? A lot of heavy rainfall, but it's almost out of here. It'll be gone here by the time we hit the top of the hour. And then we have to deal with the fog tomorrow morning. So enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you again coming up tonight at 10 and 11. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.